We'd like to let you all know a little bit about our extraterrestrial contacts, and we feel that it is important to let people know that these beings are on the spiritual side of the force. The work that they do for the Creator. Their interest is for the betterment of the planet and the people who reside on the planet, and their reason in part for being here is because the planet is getting ready to go into a transition. So we're going to talk first about them and describe what they look like, our first three main contacts, and some of the work that they do, and then following we will be sharing some of the messages that we have received from them. So our first main contact is Monn. Calls herself Monn.
Monn has been the one that we've talked to the most, and she is a very interesting person. She looks to be about 30, 35 now. She's blonde. She has a relatively nice shape, not overindulged in anything. A little curvy, so you wouldn't mistake her for a man, that's for sure. But she's very soft-spoken, and she originally was trained on her planet of Surak to be in the military. But she was asked to join the Love and Light system, which is a system that's here trying to help the planet and especially the people raise their spirituality so that we can go through the transition that's coming relatively easily.
You know, and as part of her job, she shuttles people between the ships and also to different planets. And, you know, she has a uniform that has a high stand-up collar where a six-sided star insignia is, and that is the insignia for the system of love and light.
I've got a quote here from her, from Bonnie's book. It says, "Because I was originally trained in the military service on Surak, I have to make a decision if I will stay with the system of love and light or go back to my home planet. I love working for the betterment of mankind, but to do so I must give up my family and stay on board the ships. I would have a new home and a new family, but I can go home for visits. This is not an easy decision and must not be done lightly."
And she does have a good sense of humor. And she always tries to get our slang terms correct.
Right. When she first started speaking to us, she was having kind of a hard time finding the correct words that she wanted to say and not cause us confusion of what she was really trying to say. But as she didn't learn more, she really got into the slang language. She tried to throw that in every once in a while. Yeah. Sometimes it didn't come out very good and gave us all a good laugh. And she laughed at herself. Yeah. She has a very good sense of humor.
And she got a big kick out of when she got the slang right, in the right order, in the right circumstance, and it really fit. Yeah. Like, I think one of them was bagged and tagged. I don't know what, can't remember what it was, but she got a kick out of using that one. I always wanted to use that one, she said.
And I always admired the fact that they went out and took the initiative to learn our language, as opposed to some contacts you hear that they have automatic writing, and the contactees do not know even what the messages are that are coming through. So for me to know that they went out and took the initiative to learn our language was a conscientious and a spiritual thing to do on their behalf.
I did like, we were discussing the leaders, senators, congressmen who are not seeking re-election, and she said, I do like your saying, rats abandoning a sinking ship.
So the humor came in.
Right, and she's also has said at times that she has been in the ship shuttling Jesus back and forth to meetings, and she said it is so peaceful. He radiates such a loving feeling coming from him that you really can't be in his presence, in his aura, without feeling it. And she also said that one time she snuck into a meeting, and she was amazed how everyone that was there understood what he was saying without any translation equipment. And I often wondered in the Bible what it said, people could understand him, and they weren't all speaking the same language. Now, it must be what he radiates, the feeling that he radiates from himself that makes people understand what he's saying.
And because Monn is so human looking, she has come to the planet and has had to deliver messages to some highly agitated leaders, heads of state, whatever you want to call them, to deliver a message. And the message is no matter who they work for, they will not win and cannot win the final battle on this planet. Christ is going to win. They don't like to hear it, but when she walks through the wall, she gets their attention.
And she said they did not believe who we were, so we did the only thing we could do, and as you said, walk through solid walls. When they realized that even with all their military might, they could not protect themselves, they were ready to sit down and talk.
You know what? With all the talking that the positive aliens have done, it is obvious, painfully obvious, that they didn't do any listening.
That's for sure.
Or they were replaced.
Yes.
Because those messages were given years ago. We haven't had a communication from them in 5 years. And you look at the Arab Spring with all the hope of the Arab Spring, well, the new leaders are more vicious than the ones they replaced.
Yeah. And she just is such a kind individual. You can almost feel it coming from her when she speaks. And I wish that everyone could actually listen to her, because I think they'd understand how we feel by just speaking with her. And she has said, we are going to give you everything you need to know, how to handle yourself, how to keep a balance, which is a lot that they talked about, but we will get to that in later sessions. And it's just a wonderful feeling.
Mm-hmm. Well, and they warned us too that if you are standing in the light yourself and with others, that everything is going to be thrown at you to try to pull you away from your mission and actually pull you away from each other. So many of their messages were in regard to that, and how to, like Bonnie said, how to stay balanced in prayer and using your light to try to avoid having that sort of thing happen to have you fall from your path.
So I think our next one is going to be on Eric, who is quite a different character.